Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I am Rabbi Dan Pernick, and today is Friday, June the 19th, and we're here to celebrate the final Shabbat of the spring. Yes, believe it or not, tomorrow, late in the afternoon, summer will officially begin, and even though it's been really nice weather this past week, it's going to get really hot next week. We're going to really know that it is summer. It is a time of transition. And Shabbat is also a time of transition. Transition is kind of a fancy word for change. And the seasons are changing. And one of the things that we're supposed to do on Shabbat is to begin the process of changing, but really kind of by looking back where we have been in the past week and seeing what we did well, seeing where we had room for improvement, and then figuring out how we can make next week even better. And if we can keep taking small steps at self-improvement week after week after week, by the time we get to the end of the year, the Jewish New Year, which really is just about 3 months away. Rosh Hashanah is 3 months away. All those little steps add up to a very, very big journey. So hopefully we will continue to make small steps every week, and there might be a couple steps backwards occasionally, but then we want to keep coming back forward. All right, so I hope that you'll join with me in celebrating this beautiful day that we have outside, celebrating Shabbat. This is God's very special day, because remember, according to the Bible, and whether one takes the Bible literally or not, it's still a very special day, because we are taught that God created the world in 6 days, and then on the 7th day, God rested. God paused. God said, let me take a look and see what I've done, and God saw that it was very good. In the same way, we need to take a look at what we have been doing. Hopefully, it's very good, but even if it isn't, we can work towards making it better. So we're going to begin with a little bit of singing. I'd like to begin with a song that we started with last week. It's a song that we have sung in the past. It has 5 words. That's the whole song, 5 words. And here they are. Word number 1, ma. That's it. Say it after me, ma. Okay. Word number 2, Yafeh. Yafeh. Yafeh means beautiful. Ma means what or how. How beautiful. And then the third word is Hayom. Hayom means today. What a beautiful day it is today. How beautiful it is today. And the last 2 words are Shabbat Shalom, a peaceful Sabbath. That's what we hope that you will have, that we'll all have, and we'll get to enjoy together. Here we go. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Boom, boom. The next song, a little more lively, always a popular song. It's called Bim Bam. Doesn't really mean anything, just fun sounds to make, but then the next 2 sounds definitely mean something. The words that we had from the last song, Shabbat Shalom, a peaceful Sabbath. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. So, we've all heard of the Ten Commandments. Yes, it was a very famous movie, but the Ten Commandments, of course, also come from the Bible. They come from the Jewish Bible, what we call the Torah, the 5 books of Moses. And in the second of the 5 books of Moses, the book of Exodus, God gives Moses the 10 Commandments as well as the whole Torah. And there's a commandment in the 10 Commandments about the Sabbath day. It says in Hebrew, Zachor, remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. But later on in the Torah, when Moses is repeating these words to the people, he says, Shamor, keep, observe the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. So the idea is, it's not just enough to remember. You got to actually keep it. You have to observe it. You have to do something. And the example that I like to give is, let me change it around a little bit for you. Let's say it's your birthday. Okay? It's your birthday. Wonderful. And there's somebody who's very special to you. And all day long, you see them. They don't say anything. They don't give you a card. They don't give you a present. They don't wish you happy birthday. Nothing. Now you're getting ready to, you've had dinner. You're getting ready to go to sleep sometime not too soon, not too long. And you turn to this person and you say, hey, did you forget it was my birthday today? You didn't say anything. You didn't do anything. And they say, oh, no, I didn't forget. I remembered it was your birthday. They said, yeah, but you didn't do anything. I said, no, I didn't do anything, but I remembered. You're not going to feel very good. It's the same idea with the Sabbath. Just to remember is not enough. We have to do something. So there are different rituals that we perform on Shabbat. Traditionally, there are all kinds of things that we do. But to start the day, we take 2 lights. They can be candles. They can be other forms of light. Some people use more than 2, but you have to do at least 2. One for remembering the Sabbath day and one for observing the Sabbath day. So we have the 2 lights here, and we join together in reciting the traditional blessing over the light of Shabbat, which officially welcomes this very holy day. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe. You have sanctified us with your commandments, and you have commanded us to kindle the Sabbath light. And together we say, Amen. I'm going to put these down right here. And we're going to move on with a very joyous song. Shabbat is a day of joy and happiness. Of course, a day of rest as well. Most of us enjoy resting. But there are other things we can do too, and that includes singing. So the next song is a very happy song. I think most of you will know it, so please sing along with me. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. Now it gets tough. If you're happy and you know it, do all 3. Clap, clap, stomp, stomp, hooray! If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, do all three. Hooray! All right. Very, very good. So now we're going to move on and we're going to sing a couple more songs in English. You know, even though Hebrew is the language of the Bible, we call it Lashon HaKodesh, the holy tongue, the holy language. We also believe that God understands English, French, Spanish, and all the other languages as well. That's one of the reasons that God is God and we're not, right? There are many reasons, but God is able to understand all languages, and so we do some of our songs in Hebrew, we do others in English because we believe that God certainly understands the English as well. So this next song talks about having the feeling of Shabbat in our heart, all right? In our head, also down in our toes and all over us. It's called, I've Got That Shabbat Feeling. I've got that Shabbat feeling deep in my heart, deep in my heart, deep in my heart. I've got that Shabbat feeling deep in my heart, deep in my heart today. I've got that Shabbat feeling up in my head, up in my head, up in my head. I've got that Shabbat feeling up in my head, up in my head today. I've got that Shabbat feeling down in my toes, down in my toes, down in my toes. I've got that Shabbat feeling down in my toes, down in my toes today. I've got that Shabbat feeling all over me, all over me, all over me. I've got that Shabbat feeling all over me, all over me today. Bump, bump. Our next song recognizes that God is not only in Haverstraw, God is not only on the other side of the Hudson River, God is on our side of the Hudson River, God is by the Mississippi River, God is by the Euphrates River, the River Jordan. God is everywhere. God is here, God is there, God is truly everywhere. God is here, God is there, God is truly everywhere. Up, up, down, down, right, left, and all around, here, there, and everywhere. That's where God can be found. Up, up, down, down, right, left, and all around, here, there, and everywhere. That's where God can be found. So, I want to tell you about 6 very important words. These 6 words have been part of the Jewish religion for more than 3,300 years. And you might be able to guess who it was who spoke those 6 words. The answer is Moses. Moses led the children of Israel for 40 years. He didn't even get started till he was 80, which goes to show you that just because you've reached a certain age doesn't mean you can't accomplish a lot. Moses started leading the people when he was 80, and he served for 40 years. And it was towards the end of his leading the children of Israel that he recited these 6 words. And in English, they translate to a few more than 6. But in Hebrew, they start with the words Shema Yisrael. Hear, O Israel. Listen, Jewish people. And Moses tells them that there's one God. And these words we've continued to repeat no matter what country we were in good times and bad times. And so we're going to repeat them right now. Shema Yisrael, traditionally we say them in the morning and in the evening. Or I should say in the evening and in the morning, when we lie down and when we rise up. Because in the Jewish calendar, every day actually begins in the evening at sundown. That's why the Sabbath is Friday night, Friday at sundown, until Saturday at about sundown. So we sing together. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Those 6 words are the words of Moses. And about 1,500 years later, rabbis added the second line, which translates to, "Blessed is God's glorious kingdom forever and ever." Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Okay. So we continue now with a really happy song, a song of joy and celebration. It's called Hava Nagila. Come, let us rejoice and be happy. And you don't have to be Jewish to sing this song or to hum along with it or even to dance along to it. Here we go. Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila v'nismecha. Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila v'nismecha. Hava neranana, Hava neranana, Hava neranana v'nismecha. Hava neranana, Hava neranana, Hava neranana v'nismecha. Uru, uru achim, uru achim, b'lev sameach, uru achim, b'lev sameach, uru achim, b'lev sameach, uru achim, b'lev sameach, uru achim, uru achim, b'lev sameach. And we're going to continue with one last song before we get to a few words about this week's Torah portion. And this song talks about how we have the responsibility, we also have the opportunity to make the world a better place. We can't just pray to God to do everything. We have to be involved in the process. And so this song is called Heivenu Shalom Aleichem. We will bring peace to you. Heivenu Shalom Aleichem. Heivenu Shalom Aleichem. Heivenu Shalom Aleichem. Heivenu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Aleichem. Heivenu Shalom Aleichem. Heivenu Shalom Aleichem. Heivenu Shalom Aleichem. Heivenu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Aleichem. Okay. So, Shabbat, like I said, is a very happy time. But this week's Torah portion is really very sad and tragic because it marks the moment in the history of the children of Israel when they went from possibly getting to the land of Israel in a period of 13 months. That's what it was supposed to take, 1 year plus 1 month. But because of what happens in this week's Torah portion, they are condemned to wander for another 39 years until all of that unfaithful generation has died out, except for 2 men, Joshua and Caleb. And the reason that Joshua and Caleb were spared is this story. The children of Israel were ready to enter the land. They were very close. Moses sent ahead a party of scouts, one from each tribe, to check out the land of Israel. And they came back with a wonderful report. It is a land flowing with milk and honey. They brought back fruits and vegetables to show how huge and luscious they were. It's a very fertile country. Everything's big. Unfortunately, that included the people who lived there. And there were 12 people who were sent over to check out the land of Israel. Sometimes they're called scouts, sometimes they're called spies. But there was one leader from each of the 12 tribes. And they came back, and 10 of the 12 convinced the people that these people are just too big, they're too strong, we don't have a chance against them. And the only ones who argued to trust in God, who had just promised the land to the people once again, were Joshua and Caleb. But they couldn't convince the people. The 10 others said, no, it's not going to work. Let's go back to Egypt. It's enough being in this desert. And the people started to turn around, and after all that time, and they were going to head back to Egypt. And at that point, God gets involved. And God just says over and over and over again, I've told you what the plan is. I've showed you these miracles and wonders, and you keep not believing. So that's it. That is the final straw, and you are going to be punished. And your punishment is that all of the adults, all those 20 years of age or older, who did not believe in my promise, you are going to wander in this desert, in this wilderness, until you all die out. And that took another 39 years. That's the reason that it took 40 years. Not because it's that long of a journey, but 39 of the years were punishment. And the only 2 of the adults who left Egypt, who were able to make it into the land of Israel, were Joshua and Caleb. So the lesson of this week's Torah portion is really a very, very important lesson for all of us, whether we're Jewish or not. You know, I got in the mail today, as a matter of fact, an absentee ballot. So, you know, a lot of people are not going to be voting in person this year because of the whole coronavirus situation. So we received our absentee ballot. So we have to vote. We're going to vote for different people. This is the primary election, which actually takes place next week. And, you know, different candidates have different messages. We're going to hear the same thing when come the beginning of November, when we vote for a president, when we vote for people for Congress and for other offices. Different people have different messages. And we have to decide for ourselves which is the message that we're going to follow, that we're going to vote for. Now, sometimes people believe that this one candidate, this one leader, will bring us to a better place than we are today. Other people will disagree, and they're going to say, nope, we like this leader. We like what he or she is telling us. And that's part of the beauty of democracy. We get to vote for whomever we want, whether it's a good vote, a bad vote, whether we're voting for somebody that other people think is just meshugana, is crazy, doesn't matter. It's our choice. We all get to vote, right? And for the most part, whoever gets the most votes wins. It's not quite so simple when voting for president, but in general, whoever gets the most votes wins the election. So we have to make a decision every day in our own lives. People tell us different things, and we have to listen, and we also have to think. You know, God has given us brains. We have to think. People tell us things all the time. Sometimes they're telling us the truth. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they might believe that it's the truth, that it's the right answer, the right words, but sometimes it really isn't. So it's up to all of us to try to figure out what is the best course of action, which is the best path to follow, which is the best leader for us to vote for or to follow in our daily lives. So I hope that we all have the ability to choose wisely, make the right decisions, and hopefully we will all be blessed because of the decisions that we make next week, but also in the months to come. So we're going to now move forward with the closing song of our service. And I would actually like to go to song number 11 on the song sheets that some of you may have. If not, the song is Hatikva. And Hatikva is a really interesting song. It's the Israeli national anthem. But in 1948, when the State of Israel was formally declared in the middle of the month of May, 1948, there were a lot of Jews saying, don't do it, don't do it. Those Arab countries surrounding you have said, if you declare the State of Israel, they're going to come and they're going to attack you, they're going to kill you, they're going to destroy you. But the first Prime Minister of Israel, a man named David Ben-Gurion, said, nope, this is the moment. This is our time. And he did it. Israel won the war. Israel was in fact attacked. But somehow a group of 1 million Jews, half of them having just come over from Nazi Europe and not in very good physical shape, but they were able to defeat 100 million people from the surrounding countries who attacked them. One of the great miracles of world history. So in their honor, let's sing this song, Hatikva, which means the hope. Kol od balevav penima nefesh Yehudi homia ulfatei mizrach kadima ayin letzion Sophia od lo avda tikvateinu ha-tikva shnot alpayim lihyotam chofshi be'artzeinu Eretz Tzion Yerushalayim lihyotam chofshi be'artzeinu Eretz Tzion Yerushalayim. And before we conclude, we lift up our cup of grape juice or grape wine, and one of the other rituals of Shabbat is to recite what we call Kiddush, the sanctification, the blessing over the wine. And on Friday night, we do a very long version of this, which is the blessing over the wine or the grape juice, as well as the blessing over the Sabbath. Right now, I'm just going to do the short one over the fruit of the vine. So the English translation means, blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. L'chaim. It's good stuff. And so we leave one another on this day before the end of spring. I wish you good health, stay safe, and I ask God's blessing upon all of you as we prepare to return to our regular lives with these traditional words from the Torah. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. May the Lord's presence shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May the Lord's presence be lifted up unto you, and may God fill your life with the blessing of peace. And together we say, Amen. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May it be God's will. So with that, I want to wish all of you at Northern Riverview Nursing Home a Shabbat Shalom, a peaceful Sabbath, and I look forward to seeing you next week, our first service in the summer, and we will be coming towards the end of the month of June. So as I said, next week is supposed to be a very, very warm one, very hot one, so stay cool, make sure you drink enough water and all, and take good care of yourselves. Shabbat Shalom.